All right, now we're recording. All right, so like I said, I had gotten this book. It's really, really good. If you have a hard time with procrastination, how to increase your personal productivity, focus, anything like that, this is a really good book. I've read the introduction in the first chapter already. So I'm just going to go over like the introduction, like I was saying earlier, and then you guys can decide if you want to get it or not. And, ooh, it rested. Yay, Mary. And that way, you can decide if you want it or not. And then I'll kind of go over basically what we'll do next Friday, go over like the first chapter and what it kind of looks like. I wanted to read this quote. This is like the welcome quote whenever you open your book. It says, "When we have discovered a continent or crossed a chain of mountains, it is only to find another ocean or another plain upon the further side. Little did," it says, "ye know your own blessedness, for to travel hopefully is a better thing than to arrive, and the true success is to labor." I think that quote is like really powerful because it seems like you go through like loops and hoops and everything else to like achieve any kind of goal that you set in place, right? Like life happens and it gets all crazy and you lose focus. So it's just good to have like, your goals and figure out why you're having trouble like getting to these goals. That way, when you get there, it's going to be like amazing. So when you get this book, you get like a free gift. There's like a website on here. It's like a little worksheet. It's called Companion Worksheet. I haven't looked at it yet. That's what you get. So the introduction, this on the top, there's like a little thing like right here. It says that every moment of your life is either a test or a celebration, right? How many, like, for me, for like the last, like, I don't know, since January, it seems like it has been a test after test after test. And so hopefully I get to a celebration, but I just thought that was like so true. So like the beginning part, it says, "Becoming a proficient at the art of goal setting is obviously in your interest. Many times in life, we stumble, fall, and we fail to achieve our goals. Even more commonly, we procrastinate." Who does it? I know I do. "And we only achieve a portion of our goal. Sometimes we tell ourselves that we're just not ready yet, or that we'll do it next week or the next year or tomorrow, but often tomorrow never comes." How many times have we said, "Oh, I'll start this new goal on Monday," and it's like a Friday, like you have the weekend to do whatever, to do your cheat meals, to do whatever it is, and then Monday you'll start your goal, and then Monday comes, and then you just spent that long periods of time doing whatever you're doing. You just don't feel ready to do it Monday, and the next week is coming, and then you're like, well, I don't feel like doing it next week, and yada yada yada. So like for me, I was pretty bad at that. I am getting better at just saying like, well, if I'm going to start it now, and if I'm really serious about this goal or this thing that I want to achieve, I'm going to start it now, because if I wait any longer, I know it's not going to get done. So the next page, some few questions is, why do we fail so often? Why do we give up so easily? Why is failure so common? And this little piece right here reminded me of like our promos. When we have like a certain promo, we are going to town on it. And then when there's not a promo, we just kind of like lose focus, sit back a little bit. This says, "Surprisingly, it is usually within our capacity to accomplish most of our goals we set. If someone held a gun to your head and forced you to run 5 miles on the treadmill every morning, every evening, you could probably do it," right? So why don't you? How come you won't do it unless there's a gun pointed to your head? Okay, let's like not pretend that there's a gun pointed at your head. Okay, that's probably like the worst way to put it, but it is kind of true. The answer lies in understanding the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic. Okay, motivation. When someone forces you into doing something like run on the treadmill at a gunpoint, this is an example of extrinsic motivation because the motivating force is external to your mind, right? We see it and we're like, oh, we got to do this, and your heart's racing, and then you try to get it done faster and faster. But with intrinsic motivation, on the other hand, you make a conscious choice to run on the treadmill because you enjoy the thrill of physical extortion and perhaps the satisfaction of sticking to a healthy lifestyle, right? So when you're thinking, when you have your goal in mind and you're starting that Friday instead of that Monday, you see what you want and you go for it. Kind of like what Teresa said yesterday when she was like, when you know what you want, it becomes a priority. When you don't know what you want, it's not like you'll do it whenever, or you'll find time where you're too busy to do something. I really like that, how she said that yesterday. But so like intrinsic, when you're, consciously knowing that you're ready to start, it's easier because you know that, what's the book called? Can you put in the chat? Yeah, I will. It is this. I'm on my phone, so just give me a minute and I'll type it in there. It's called How to Set Goals with Kaizen and I don't know, it's like Japanese, and I thought it was names, but it's actually Japanese ways, which is pretty cool, and we'll get that to it in a minute. She's laughing at me. I don't know. Anyways, so wouldn't life be easier if there were some ways to trick your mind into becoming intrinsically motivated instead of always having to rely on extrinsic motivators like a boss or a parent or a teacher, right? Like when you're at work and your boss is like, well, you got to get this done or you're fired, you get it done. That's kind of like a hassle that kind of like puts you in a different mindset. Like you're just not happy, right? But like if you're intrinsic, why do they gotta make such hard words? If you're intrinsic and you want to do it consciously, it makes life so much easier because you're willing to do it. You want to do it, and you're gonna find more joy when you consciously want to do it. What if you could change the way you perceive your future goals? What if you could learn how to break goals down into smaller components, such as little steps towards the goalpost? Hey. What? Oh, you got a pink egg? Hold on, guys. That's my dog and my kid. All right. Toddler like y'all. Where was I? Well, this is what this book is here to teach you. It's time to put a stop to these old habits and try something new. It's time to stop procrastinating, and it's time to set goals and to complete them. In this book, we will be introducing you to 4 Asian concepts. I'm gonna kill these names, y'all. Okay, it's called Ling Chai, Hanzai, Ikigai, and Kaizen. Okay. So the first one is Ling Chai. What is it? The first one, Ling Chai, it's a Chinese term that is commonly translated in the West as death by 1,000 cuts. This is a metaphor that we'll be employing throughout this book to understand why we fail. You may have noticed that the difficulties in your life are not the result of just one cause, rather they originate from 1,000 little cuts, right? Like things in the past, whatever it may be, little things, like 1,000 of them could be like why you don't ever complete a task or something. 1,000 little negative decisions that come together to create a difficult life problem. Once you can learn how to spot and there you go. You want it out? Okay. Once you can learn how to spot the accumulation of these infractions, then you can put a halt to them and prevent disaster. The second one is Hansai. The second concept is Hansai, or the art of self-reflection. Hey, Rodney. Hansai is a Japanese method for understanding what went wrong. It's about seeking clarity of thought through careful considerations of your past mistakes. When you are skilled in Hansai, then you will be able to comprehend the failures of your past and prevent yourself from making the same mistake in the future. What's wrong? Oh, you want me to get it down? Okay. Bubba, why don't you go in your room so he's not messing with you? Thank you. The third concept is Ikigai. I'm gonna Google translate that because or how to pronounce it. This one is a Japanese term that helps us to discover our true calling. The word can also be translated as your life's purpose, life's work, or your reason to get out of bed in the morning. It is commonly endorsed by the residents of Akiano Island, many of whom are over 100 years old. Selecting one of Ikigai is an important task because the discovery may heavily, oh my gosh, I can't talk today, influence the path you walk in life. And if you discover your proper Ikigai, then it can become a great source of intrinsic motivation. So like your life's purpose, this is going to help you make it easier to decide, becoming consciously aware of like what you're doing and you want to do it. The last one is Kaizen. And finally, the solution to many of our goal setting problems can be found in the fourth concept, Kaizen, a continuous improvement. With Kaizen, we understand that the big problems in life cannot be solved in 1 hour. Instead, we learn to break down big chores into more manageable component parts. And then we strive to complete each task gradually, continuously, and daily. In this movement toward the better, that is part of the natural process of growth and long-term goal completion. When you train your mind to become cognizant of these 4 steps, you'll have a unique perspective on goal fulfillment that few other people in the West have never exposed to. So these synergies of the concepts will enable you to foster greater self-discipline, focused, stick to incentives, and even your most challenging life goals will suddenly seem achievable. Are you ready to get started? And then it says to read on. So those are the 4. Here, you can have some of this. So these are the four concepts to help you achieve your goal setting. Okay, well, you're gonna have to wait a minute. Mommy is doing something. Okay, thank you. You can drink it or you have to wait. So these 4 things are really going to help you self-reflect, how to find your past mistakes and not to do them when you move forward, what went wrong, just all these things. What is your life's purpose, your reasons to get out of bed, to get more motivated than you are now. And then it just goes by like the different concepts. So the first one, I'm just going to kind of go over is the, Baba, please go over there. Mommy is doing something. Thank you. Or be quiet right there. Ling Chai, Death by 1,000 Cuts. Now the history of this, it's pretty like, it's pretty like wild on how they did it back in China. But we're talking like metaphorically, and they'll say it in here as well. So if you guys get the book and read the first part, you're gonna be like, you don't want to go over there. Okay. So the metaphor, as you look back at life challenges and health, wealth, relationships, you'll find that personal failures are typically not the result of just one problem. Rather, a big problem in life about issues that really matter are usually the result of lots of little problems. And the issues we allow to accumulate over time, year after year. the little white lies we told our spouse at the last Christmas party, the extra cheeseburger we ate during the barbecue, the weekend gym class that we were too lazy to attend, the wild Sunday night when we partied instead of studying for our test, the Monday mornings we showed up late at the office, the corners we cut when we released our last product, yada, yada, yada. Those are some examples. And so this first part, you're going to find, like, can you identify these little mistakes? Can you see yourself making them? Can you close your eyes and see the long chain of poor decisions, which ultimately led you to one failure or to another? Can you envision how things could have been different? So for now, let's talk about where these 1,000 little cuts come from in goal setting. The top 4 vices are procrastination, self-doubt, laziness, and the fear of goals. The first one is procrastination, and you'll lose valuable time. You can give away valuable opportunities. You resist desired actions. You lose self-esteem, right? Like that is a big one, especially for myself. Like if I have a goal and I don't get it, or I put off, I'm constantly like, I don't know, just puts you in that different state, right? Like, oh, I didn't do this and I suck at this or whatever. Hey, turn that off, please. Hold on. You make bad decisions. You damage your reputation. You may experience anxiety or depression. And then the second one is self-doubt. Okay, and then reasons why you experience self-doubt. A lack of experience. Hold on. Where was I? Perhaps you've had a bad experience. Is there a doubtful voice? He's not on there, sweetie. Is there a doubtful voice in your head? Do you think it's all about luck? Do you surround yourself with negative people? Sorry, y'all. You hear Callie in the background. Do you comfort yourself with doubt? What happens when you keep doubting yourself? You will lose willpower. You will pity yourself and regret too much. Like I could go on and excuse me again. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Callie was like hollering about my dog. It never ends, I promise. And it happens again. Anywho, so training him. I got a shot collar. Anyways, this book is really, really good. So if you have problems with self-doubt, procrastination, whatever it is, this really gets into like why you may have it, like what are some things holding you back and everything like that. Okay. So I will put this in Thrive Army again if y'all want to get it. We'll talk about next week. We'll go more into chapter 1. We'll read into it and everything else. Does anybody have any questions? I'm gonna look in the chat real quick. Oh, she already sent the link. Cool, thank you, Laura. All right. Well, if nobody has any questions, I'm gonna let y'all go and get these kiddos. All right, one last thing. Everybody's hands up. All right, turn it around. Pat yourself on the back. You guys are awesome. If nobody's told you you're awesome, you are. I'm proud of you for hopping on and go crush some goals. Go team, go. See ya.